Hi there, this is Ted King. He is a board member for the Citrus County Education Foundation, current board member, current vice president, right?
Yes.
And he is also a men building men mentor in the schools that is also supported by the Education Foundation. Teddy, I appreciate you coming today.
No problem, buddy.
And just love talking about community service, talking about pillars in our community that the individuals who really want to serve our community both professionally and personally. So how do you feel that that's important to our community?
Well, I think we all have an obligation to help make this county, a better place to live, and to help with whatever you're passionate about. So my passion, obviously, is the education and the youth of our community. So a few years ago, I was challenged by my boss to get involved, and I kind of reflected on it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing enough. So I got engaged with the Education Foundation. I really enjoyed my time there, and then feel like we make an impact on all the kids' lives here in the community and the teachers. I mean, we want it to be the whole education process to be a lot better for everybody. Craig, I know how passionate you are and how engaged you are in the community. And I know currently with the Sheriff's Department, you've started the Men Building Men program that's been very successful. You're on the board of the Education Foundation also. How do you see your involvement in the community as you become the next property appraiser?
I think one of the number one things that any elected official needs from the community and vice versa is trust and honor and serving in a capacity that's bigger than oneself. I've done that over the last 11 years through my board of directors work with the Citrus County Blessings and the Citrus County Education Foundation. It's important to understand that all these relationships that I've established over many years of both the professional role and my personal work with the nonprofits is trust. They know that they can count on me. They know that what I'm telling them is going to be right information, and that I'm a man of my word, and that's important to me. The honor and integrity part of serving and doing what you and I do.
Yep.
Is important, because when we create programs, when we created the Men Building Men program and the Women Building Women program and all the great things that the Education Foundation and Citrus County Blessings do, it's important to know that it was for something bigger than us. It was for some people that needed help, that needed that guidance, that just needed that uplifting, encouraging person in their life. And it was important for me to do that. So when you ask, how is that important? It's important because the number one reason I got into this race for the Citrus County Property Appraiser was to serve the people. It had nothing to do with me. My name might be on the ballot, but it's for the betterment of our community. So that's why, I'm committed to Citrus. I'm committed to Citrus in all facets of my life.
Good. So going forward, do you feel you can make a positive impact from your elected seat as the property appraiser? Do you think you can get that office engaged more in the community?
Well, I think the only thing that we can really do truly is to inspire others to become involved. And I want to be that example. And if we're going to do anything in leadership, you're in leadership, I'm in leadership, and anything that we do inspires a person one way or another. So if I have given somebody the inspiration to serve the public, then I want to infuse that into the office. I want to infuse community service and involvement in our community. If we can continue to get out into the community and educate the public on what A, the property appraiser's office does, and B, what we can do in the community to make it better, I think that's important. So, they have 46 amazing employees at the Citrus County Property Appraiser's office, and I just want to inspire them to possibly serve in the community and give back.
Good.
Yeah.
So with the Men Building Men program that you developed, I remember the first time we met on this many years ago. You came into the office there with Duke, and we sat and we talked, and it was kind of just a spitball session. How can we do this? What can we get going? How are we going to make it work? And then it's turned into a very successful program where we've been able to help a lot of the young men in the community. And then you've adapted that and have started to help the young ladies in the community as well. Do you feel you'll be able to keep that program going?
Absolutely. It's a program that is near and dear to me, and then obviously the mentors that we have working in the program. The great part about both those programs, the men building men and the women building women, those are all professionals in our community that take the time out of their day to serve students in our community to have a better life. And that's really what it's about. It's not just a bunch of law enforcement officers or a bunch of friends that I have. It is all community members that have established businesses, that have established professions, that do anything they can to get out and help our students, because at the end of the day, that's who our future is. Who knows, in 5 years, one of these students might want to come work at the Citrus County Property Appraiser's office, or might want to go work for Duke, and we've gotten them to that point. We have fed positivity into the future of Citrus County. We want Citrus County to continue to grow, continue to retain employees when they get trained up, and what better way than to have that mentoring program within the Education Foundation to do that. So that's important.
One of my favorite parts of Men Building Men is from a volunteer aspect. The only thing you really need to give is your time. And I know how busy you are in the sheriff's department. I know how busy you are in your personal life, but you've always made time to make those kids that really need our time. They don't need a ton of monetary gifts or a lot of they just need somebody to sit down and listen to them. And not only I feel like I only go to one school, but you've amazed me that you've been able to balance all three high schools between Citrus, Crystal River, and Lecanto, and develop the leadership with the people from the community. So from me, I want to say thank you on behalf of everybody that's involved in the program. It's tremendously fulfilling to me to spend that time with the young men that I get to help, and I know talking with my peers that they really value it as well. So thank you on behalf of everybody for starting that.
Well, I appreciate that. Very, very humbled by that, but it has nothing to do with me. It's the mentors that are taking the time to do that. I created this program as a way for the mentors to give to the community, and then the students to receive that help. And I can tell you, as someone who has mentored almost my entire adult life, and I think you're going to be able to agree to this, that we're trying to help the student, but what happens is when the mentor gets involved with the student, the mentor gets mentored. They receive so much back. They receive so much love that, listen, this kid without me would not have been able to get into a college or a WTC or a job. And the mentor a lot of times gets a lot of the personal satisfaction as well. And it makes it easy, but those people would not have been able to be mentors without the relationships that I had in our business community and with the school district. So it's important that I continue that. So I want to continue that. I want to continue that as the next property appraiser. And it's fulfilling to know that as I take this next step as the next property appraiser, that I can use that platform to serve our community on a much larger scale. So, to me, that's important. It's I can do some stuff now, but I know I can do probably a lot more with that platform.
So that's my next question to you, because I know you're always thinking, you've always got ideas, you're always bouncing things around. So what are you thinking is next? You have any ideas, or is this the whole process of?
No, it's to continue to grow the Men Building Men, Women Building Women program. If somebody doesn't know about it, they can go to the Education Foundation website, and it's weird because we're in a pandemic now. So we have students that are not being reached right now, because when we would reach them, it was on campuses with Subway as our partners, and we were able to reach them on campuses, and now we're not able to do that. So my only concern going forward is, how are we going to reach our students if we don't have access to them via the schools? The school district and the guidance counselors' offices were very influential in setting up our mentors and our students. My concern right now that I think about every day is, how are we going to reach these students without school in session? The Sam Himmel and her staff have done an amazing job, but we need to think outside the box with how we're reaching our students, whether it be Zoom or whether it be phone calls or texting with our students. I got to make sure that we're still maintaining those relationships with those students. So, and really what I would like to do, that next step, is there was really nothing like this around the country as far as these mentoring programs go. And I want to share this philosophy. I want to share our philosophy with these mentoring programs with other communities and jurisdictions around the state and around the country, so we can reach all of our students in that facet.
So, as you're going to be transitioning to the new property appraiser, I think one of the benefits you're going to have is the incredible number of community relationships that you've built. So, how do you feel your involvement in all the nonprofits in the county is going to benefit the people as you are the next property appraiser?
Well, I think as any elected official, and specifically the next property appraiser for Citrus County, needs to have a good, open community dialogue with not only educating them on the day-to-day operations of the property appraiser's office or what they do for the community, but it can also enhance the relationships through working through community service type organizations. You can tie those two together. They know that if I come and ask them, hey, I need some help with a student, can you help them? They're going to be able to do that. They're going to be able to open their doors up to their businesses. I'll use Duke as an example, since you work there. Mm-hmm. If I have a student that has interest in getting into that field, I can, hey, Teddy, I need this kid. He wants to come out and hang out with you, and can you do that? And I know you would, and vice versa. If this kid needs something at school, I know you'd be willing to mentor them. So it's important to know that our elected officials in our county, specifically the property appraiser seat that I'm going for, is a pillar in our community, is a person that the community can always count on for stability, honesty, integrity, and serving not only in the property appraiser's office, but also out in the community.
So I think one of the things I admire most about you is that you're seen in the community not only as Cregg Dalton that works at the sheriff's department. You've been a tremendous ambassador for the law enforcement community here, and we have a lot of great officers that work with you. I think one of the big benefits you can bring to the property appraiser's office is you're polished, and your reputation of being a leader within the community. And I think I'm really excited for you to have that transition and that opportunity to help bring that the property appraiser's office to the forefront and being recognized for all the great work that they're going to be doing also.
I think one of the things that empowers me to do everything that I do every day is I serve the entire community. It doesn't just limit to one particular area. It's not just Crystal River, or not just Homosassa or Red Level or any of the other communities. When I work and do everything I do in Citrus County, it's for the entire community, not just a certain segment of it or area, or it doesn't matter. I know no boundaries when it comes to who and where I serve. That's important to me, so I appreciate you saying that.
So I got to ask you just a personal question here.
Okay.
And I know how much you enjoy getting to chase the bad guys all the time. Are you going to miss that as you transition into the property appraiser?
No, it actually kind of goes hand in hand with the differences. As far as my law enforcement work goes, I'm still protecting the citizens in a physical sense, in an emotional sense, but transitioning and sliding into the property appraiser's office, we're still following statutes. I'm still protecting people. One of the citizens' greatest assets is their home, right? That's one of the biggest things that the citizens have in their life, and I'm able to transition from the serving the community in the law enforcement aspect, but also going over to the property appraiser's office and doing the same exact thing. One of my biggest attributes, or one of the biggest things that I concentrate on, and my personal goal, professional goals, is serving other people within an office. If I can elevate somebody else's professional growth, that's important to me. That's what I want to do. I want to help facilitate that growth. So not only would I do that at the sheriff's office, but in my new role as the property appraiser, because just like we mentor our students in the high schools, I want to mentor the employees at the Citrus County Property Appraiser's office. So that's equally as important. So serving the community by protecting them, I'll do the same thing. leading and empowering our employees from the sheriff's office, I'll do the same thing with the property appraiser's office. So, I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Cregg, what have you learned about yourself, or as you've been going through the process? What's the one thing you take away, or one thing you've learned?
One of the greatest things that I've learned since November, and I've learned this prior to in everything that I've done in my life, is to just listen. Listen to the community, listen to the residents, listening to the businesses, listening to what the needs are of the community. If we can effectively learn to listen and listen right, then we can best serve our community.
So Cregg, that's I do feel you're a great listener. You're a great communicator. When you first told me that your passion, you wanted to run for the property appraiser, I was really excited for you and Nancy personally. I knew that you would be great at anything you did, but property appraiser and the passion you've showed me over the last 7, 8, 9 months since we've been talking about this, I'm really happy for you. I knew you were going to be the right person because of how passionate you are about everything, and how you give everything 100% of your heart, and how engaged you are in the community, and how you look at some of the people that are backing your campaign. I'm not a big politics person at all. I'm really not. But the people that you've gotten in the community to back you and support you, that means that you have some of the greatest people in this community trusting you with a very important position in this county. And for me, that's how I know that I not only trust you, my friend, to do a great job, but I see the great leader that you are and the servant of the community, and just how good of a communicator you're going to be. And the people of Citrus County will be benefited for sure for you running for office.
Awesome, Ted. I can't thank you enough for that. I can't thank you enough for you and your entire family, your brother, your wife, your girls. I appreciate it. I appreciate you taking the time to come out and speak with me today, and I look forward to serving in the community for many years to come. Thanks, Ted. Appreciate it, bud.